Okay, in this video I want to take a look at attack animations, and one problem is that we don't really have that kind of thing in the art pack. So we could find another art pack or we could add to it, but for now I just want to get like the code in place. And the way I was imagining the attack animation to work is that let's say I press spacebar or whatever, then he will start attacking, and he will like attack these squares. When he's facing left, he will attack here, 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 and here, something like that. And it will be like a swipe starting from up here and going down. And you know, we have no art for that. So for now I'm actually just gonna let me see something. Do we have any prints? Yes, when we load them, that's fine. For now we are going to not that, but here, and items, and we're just going to use these keys. Let's zoom 300% and done. Didn't really work as intended, but we're just gonna use these keys as the frames of the attack animation, or some of them. So it's probably gonna look quite funny, but for now we just do that to get the code into place. Okay, so that means we need some flag, I think. We need a flag inside the entity that says probably we'll have like gameplay data, and we'll have graphical data. And here we're going to have a flag that is called is attacking. And then we're going to say if player is attacking, we're going to run the attack animation, animate attack, and it will take the player. So it will be a coroutine similar to this guy. And once the animation is done running, it will actually modify the player and set is attacking to false. Now, that means we also need DT, and probably that's okay for now. We'll just do the animation. We won't think about actually colliding with, like checking if you hit an enemy right now. So perhaps that's okay. Yeah, let's leave it like that for now. I'm thinking about what will happen if we have different types of attacks and so on, but maybe we don't think about that right now. Okay, so we have this demo animate, and just for now let's put it in here, animate attack, and it's going to be an entity, and it's going to be DT, and we will do this thing. And what we're going to do is co-start is how it works. Co-start of the co, or it's just co, and we need the co-end. And just before we end, we're going to say entity is attacking equals false. And what are we gonna do? Let's say attack frame time is gonna be like 100 milliseconds. So first we're gonna draw. So also we need to know which way it's facing, and that is a little bit unfortunate, but it's inside the sprite. So probably, let's say to do, move this to the entity. Okay, draw frame above head. And let's say here bool faces left is entity sprite flip x. Okay. So we also need to load the sprite for the attack. So where are we gonna do that? How about we just, well, it's not really gonna work the same way. I do think we want a sprite. And let's call this one load sprite character, because it's specifically for loading characters. And let's make another one here that is just load sprite, and it's not gonna do this this trick where it's trying to be smart. It's just gonna load a bunch of sprites, a bunch of frames. So actually this has to be several in frames, and the 4 we can replace with n frames. This guy can just start from 0. Same here. And n frames. And this weird thing, frames per frame, we also should add. Okay. So let's have this player attack sprite is load sprite, and we're gonna load from assets assets items and trap animation / keys. So actually we need this thing. And what was it again? Items and trap animations, keys, and they are called key, let's do key 1. And what happened here? I'm not sure why it doesn't compile. load sprite. So there's a problem. We are loading a sprite somewhere else. Load sprite. And this is wrong. And oops. Load sprite. That's okay. Still not. Okay, this fall through thing is annoying me now, so I need to fix that. How do we remove a specific warning? Is it like implicit fall through? All right, figured it out. It's like this. So now we don't have that warning, which is from the coroutine stuff. And I also want to say, let's actually do this. Let's call them co-row flags. And we want no warning for unused label. Like that. And then we actually have to use it here. That's not it. Co-row flags. Okay, so we have unused parameters, unused variables, that's okay. Okay, so in the sprite thing, there is this guy. Yeah, so we need name I actually. And that should compile. That compiles. Okay, so how many frames do we need? We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need 5 frames. So we'll go here, we will say can I make it multi-line? So it's going to be key 1.png. Assets, items, keys. And there's 4 of those. But we do need 5, which means we're going to reuse 1. And then let's give this guy and say 5. And frames per frame. Is that really relevant? It's not relevant right now the way we're animating it, so I'm just going to put -1. To make it crash. Okay, let's go back into the animation. Right, and then we should actually pass that player attack sprite. And how do you actually draw it? Well, how is it? And we should remember to free. What did I call it? Player attack sprite. So free sprite. Player attack sprite. Right. So here is how we animate it. Let's do vector 2. Draw position. That looks about right. Then we're gonna just draw, I think we're just gonna draw the texture directly like that. And design. There's also a scale here that we need. Okay, so we draw it and it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be position, that's not a thing right now, so let's call it draw position. So that's basically it, and then we're gonna wait a little bit. And then, yeah, sure, let's do that. Gonna wait. We're gonna draw it below. So it's not gonna be exactly like I said, but this is what Copilot wants. So this is what Copilot gets. Okay. So now the only thing that's left to do is say if is key released, key space, set the player to be attacking. And we forgot that here we also need to pass the scale right now. And we made a little mistake. Right, so we have to say also frame number. And it crashed because it's saying that that file doesn't exist because it's trap underscore animation. All right. Still failed to open the file. Okay. And somehow it's appending them all. So, because we need this thing. Oops. Data is not failed to open file. But now I think it's actually assets, items and trap animation, keys, and it's called keys underscore one underscore. And still it fails, but at least it loaded the file. But now there's just a segmentation fault, so that's great. Let's do this. So let's see what happens here. It never finishes loading it, so we need to go into sprite. What's going wrong here? Name. So let's do some diagnostics. I mean, actually, let's try to do it in the grown-up way and say is it like that? Debug. Is it like that? And let's run GDB on main. And break in main. And that doesn't look right. Because it's not like that. It's GDB, GDB. I can never remember. So we build it, we run it, and we break in main, and that looks more correct. So let's say run, and GUI. So we can just lay out the source. That's how you do it. You can tell I don't use this so much. So we'll go through all of this. That's great. Is it like TUI reset? TUI reload. Layout source. TUI help TUI. But it seems to be fine again. Actually not. So we have to do something to reset it every time it prints. And now it printed again. Damn it. Has to be some kind of reset command. Whatever. So we get the source, it prints some more stuff. Actually, this is so annoying that we have to do this instead. So where are we at? We're at the create entity. So a couple of more lines. We define that. Then now we load the sprite. So let's step into that and let's get the source. And we malloc. So what is n frames? It's 5. What is name? What is the reference name? It is this. And what is name? So that's name 0. What's name 1? That's correct. And I see the problem. I see the problem. It's because we have this equals from before. So let's try to run it. Okay. And I can press space and it does a little attack. It's kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty cool. Let's go up here and let's increase the frame time just a little bit. There is like an initial attack, which I don't get, but that's probably because when we create player, create entity, we have to remember to do that. Now there's no initial attack and we can attack. Nice. So I'm actually gonna try something just to make it look a little bit better. Let's do 100 again, but then we're gonna add a kind of an intermediate frame here. Draw frame both above and in front. So no waiting, and we just draw it twice. So let's see how that looks. Looks weird. It is really flickering. And maybe it's because of where we placed this animation. Well, I'm pretty sure if we put it here, it's not gonna work. Yeah. So that flickering is a little bit annoying. Is there any way to get rid of that? what happens if we just always draw it? Ah, yeah, that's one thing we forgot to check. So now it's on that side and now it's on this side. Pretty nice. Let's do that, let's do that, let's do that. Okay, so when we I think I have an idea of why it's happening. It's because when we call co-wait, then the next time we jump here, we don't do the draw again. So that's problematic. So actually we have to have a different mechanism for waiting. We have to, so let me see. So let's try to remember how it works. Yeah, so we need another one that doesn't set the index to line, but sets it to something else. Sets it to something else. And what is this doing? If the elapsed time is greater than time, we just fall through. So let's make another one that we call wait case, and it's also gonna have a name, which is the label it's gonna jump to next time around. And then I think we can do this. We can say, sorry, I call it case. And then we can do frame one, and we can say here, co-case, and it's just gonna be frame one. And I think that should do it. Let's see. Okay, doesn't compile. Right, because index has to be huh. Okay. It has to be an integer, which is a problem. And there's no way to find the line number of... Okay, so we have to do kind of another trick. I would say. So this sets up a label. Then we draw it. And then we need to check the time. So what do we want? We basically want if co-elapsed is less than time, then we need to go to frame 1. And sorry, no, that's also wrong. Then we need to set index such that we start at frame 1 next to time. And then go to co-end. But otherwise, we don't do anything. Then we just go to the next thing. Actually, we have to set co-elapsed equal to 0. Okay. And that's the kind of the problem. We don't know what the frame number is here. What the line number is, sorry. So I was thinking we could do something like let's wait here, and we'll just call this one frame 1. Well, we already have that from this guy. And maybe we call this one wait frame 1, and then we have another one that's just frame 1. And here we say go to frame 1. It will go here, it will play this. Then maybe we need like another label here that is end frame 1. Because then when we wait, we can say go in frame 1. So I think this will work. So let's try to run it through. So we set up position and frame number. We say go to frame 1. Okay, that's here. Then we draw it, and then we add another label. If the elapsed time is, if the animation is not finished, then we say go to wait frame 1. So we end up here, and then we just check. So the time has not wait. So I think here we can actually always say go wait frame 1. Because then we will always end up here. We will wait, we'll check, okay, if the animation is not finished, we just exit out of the coroutine and everything is good. Next time we hit it, we go to frame 1, it's here, we draw it, then we go back and check. If it's still not done, we go to the end. But if it is done, we go here, go end frame 1. So we jump to here, and that ends it. So I think if I do this now, draw frame in front of it, let me comment out all of this. Yes. If I run this now, the flickering of the top key should be gone. I'm not sure that worked. I don't think it worked. So we go to frame 1, we draw it. Let's make it super clear that it's not. Yeah, it is only drawn for one frame. So we go here, we go to frame 1. I think the problem is that the problem is always that we jump back to here when we call co-wait. Yeah, so it's just, there's no mechanism for this. That means we do need another one, and it's gonna be co-wait offset, offset, and offset. I think we have to do it like this, which is annoying. And then it's important that the line numbers are correct, so I need to do this and offset, and then we say, okay, actually when you come back, jump back to the previous line. Jump back to the previous line. And actually it's kind of worse than that, isn't it? Can you do like define here, and that should be line, and then we'll say try to make another one that's just called line. So we have this one here, we say go away, line, and then jump to here. It seemed to compile. But I think that if we do this, it will still only print that once. Yeah, so it doesn't work, even though it should have printed it multiple times. So we need to use this offset. Let's get rid of that, let's get rid of that, let's get rid of that. And I think we have to actually jump back 3 lines. So that works, but And it's probably something to do with how this is expanded. So we have to say define really here is here. And then if we say really here, it might work. This is just, yeah, it didn't work. It's also kind of stupid. So let's get rid of those. And now we have to do something like this. I'm kind of annoyed there's no other way. We might be able to make some kind of macro. That does this for us, but for now I'm going to do it like this. Oh, that doesn't look right. So we jump to here, we draw it, and then when we're done, we go here. 1, 2, 3, still. So potentially it's just, should be -2, minus, I don't know. So that's clearly wrong somehow. Okay, you know what? You know what we have to do? We have to say go to a specific line. So this is going to be -1, this is going to be -2, -3. And then we have to say, or I hope this works, but let's check it. So I'm just going to put a case statement here, because if you remember, the coroutines work by us being inside a giant switch thing. And C is weird, so you can just put these case things everywhere, I think. Yeah, so that works. That is funky. I think that's gonna do it for this video. In the next one, maybe we'll try to look at collisions between the attack animation and enemies, so you can actually attack. Bye bye.